Yes, people, good evening. Welcome to the Dugout Football Channel. Welcome to the Prem Predictions Show, week 22. Yes, we have 16 game weeks left. Can you believe that we're at week 22? We're nearly in February as well. And also, it is deadline day tomorrow. We will see if our two clubs decide to do any business. I highly doubt it. But I am delighted to be joined by Mr. Albert. It is lovely to have you on the channel. I've been meaning to have you on for absolutely ages. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. Pleasure to be on, man. Thanks for the invite. And yeah, this should happen a long time ago, but we finally got there, man.
Absolutely. Just tell the people where they can find you as well.
Yes, people, Arsenal fan, of course. Albert JT on my own channel, but not just Arsenal related, but there's some other content that I do, which is football topics in general and something just kind of sport related as well as football. So life stories is cool. So hopefully I'll do another episode of that coming soon. Just sorting out dates, and I'm going to do the transfer roundup. If not, definitely before the end of the week, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. It's yes, please go over and check Albert. I've been on his channel a few times, and it is a very, very good channel. And yeah, you do a show with league judges, I think, as well, don't you?
I do. I've been lucky, Doug, man. Like we've had chats, man. This YouTube grind, it has some positives, but there's some people out there that don't necessarily want the best for you, as we've spoken about quite a long time ago. But yeah, I've been fortunate. Like I've been lucky enough to go on sort of the bigger Arsenal channels and got my own sort of segment on League Judges TV and the Arsenal Lounge Boys. And yeah, so it's been good, Doug, man. It's been rewarding, mate. Very rewarding.
Yeah. You're doing very well, mate. Good to see. Good to see as well. Good evening, Reese. I am very well, thank you. I hope you are well as well. And Niall is in as well. Good evening, Niall. This will be a brilliant show. Thank you very, very much, Mr. Kane. Now, obviously, if you are watching the One Show right now, you will probably be expecting the FA Cup draw. Unfortunately, my TV has decided to not work. So if anyone wants to keep updated with the FA Cup draw, please do. Because there's some big teams still left in the competition. And obviously, Brighton, well done to them. Deserved to win yesterday. And I think that they will go very, very far indeed. Right, last time out, I was up against fellow Liverpool fan John Moore. Has to be said, it was a bit of a nightmare. 5 points I got, which is probably one of my lowest points so far this season. Sadly for John, he got 2, so I did actually win. And I have actually updated the scores now. It's 10 to me, 8 to the guests, because there has been a couple of draws in there as well. So, Albert trying to make it 10-9 to the guest. We shall see. Indeed. So, without further ado, we do have the game between Chelsea and Fulham on Friday. Yes, a Friday night game. It's a West London derby. A couple of weeks ago, Fulham beat Chelsea by 2-1. Chelsea, Albert, what have you made of their spending?
Oh my God. Where do I start, Doug? It's mad. It is. I was listening earlier to Sky Sports not getting from work, and I think they said over 2 seasons it's like over $500 million, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's crazy. And they're not finished yet. They're not finished.
No.
So it is. I get it. I think with Chelsea, I think it's a mixture of two, whether one, they're planning for the future, or two, it's in complete desperation to make sure they get top 4.
Yeah,
I don't know how Potter's going to do it. You've got some very good players there, but it's Doug. Time in football is a precious commodity, particularly at Chelsea Football Club. Anyway, but yeah, they've really thrown the kitchen sink at it. And it could go either way. It could be a masterstroke and get all these signers in, and it hits the ground running, or it's going to implode.
Yeah, I mean, Enzo Fernandez could become a British transfer record at £115 million.
I know it's crazy. I mean, I knew it cost a lot of money, but when I heard that today, I said, what? But then I thought, Doug, you know what? Chelsea will pay it.
Oh yeah,
Chelsea will pay it. It's a bottomless pit. Yeah, it's amazing how they managed to avoid any FFP implications is crazy. But if they get him, he's a good player, Doug. Is he worth that type of money? No, he's not. But it's crazy. It really is. But yeah, we'll see how it pans out for them because with Chelsea, we know they don't really, they're very happy to pull the trigger on the managers. So
yes,
we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. And yes, by the way, Reese, I will be speaking about that very shortly. Fulham, Albert, have been one of my surprise packages this season, I have to say.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, listen, they have surprised me. I don't know when teams come up from the Championship, it's some can hit the ground running and sort of consolidate. Some just flatline. Some people just scrape it. But yeah, they've been a surprise. I think they're above Chelsea at the moment, Doug, off the top of my head. I'm not sure.
Yes, they are, yeah.
So what, they're in the top 10 for them. So yeah, listen, Marco Silva, to be fair to him, I think even before he went to Fulham, Doug, I'm not sure he actually had a full season at a club. I'm sure that was somewhere in the stats until he sort of stayed there. But yeah, he's done a good job there, man. And obviously they got Mitrovic that is a talisman and can get goals to not just keep him up, to obviously propel him up the table. So yeah, listen, I don't think the game on Friday is a foregone conclusion.
No, absolutely not. Especially with Fulham winning 2 weeks ago as well. That was 2-1. Yeah. I know Chelsea did take the lead in that game, because who was it? I can't remember who's. No, actually, Fulham did actually take the lead in that game, and then Koulibaly equalised.
Yes.
Then was the Felix red card.
Yeah.
And then Carlos Vinicius scored.
Yes.
I think Mitrovic is back. I think he is back for this game. So, with that being said, Fulham did win 2-1, as I said a couple of weeks ago. How do you see this one going? It is at the Bridge, of course.
I think the scoreline just came straight into my head, so I said I think Chelsea will nick it 2-1.
2-1 Chelsea.
Yeah. 2-1 Chelsea, mate.
2-1 Chelsea. I'm going to go slightly different. I'm going to go 1-1. I'm actually going to go 1-1. I think it's going to be a very difficult game to predict. Yeah, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. As well. Yes, Reese, we will get into that in a minute. Big up, John Conway. Thank you very much for tuning in. Yes. Now, if you don't know, my esteemed guest is a big Arsenal supporter.
Yes.
From Caicedo to potentially Jorginho. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I saw it, Doug. I think I must have seen it probably about 10 minutes before we was going live. Now, for people in the chat, I don't know what club you support, or whatever club you support anyway, but I've seen how this Arsenal fan base behave on the social media platform. So the news of this, it's not going to go down well personally. No. I get some people, very few, Doug, by the way, might have the take of, it's needs must, but I actually don't think this was. I actually think his name's been mentioned with Arsenal before in the past, but they wasn't keen then. I do think you have to ask questions of Arsenal, really, because we had the chat before we went live. I don't know what it is with Arsenal. The central midfield area always seems to be a bit of a problem for us to bring players in, even going back to notoriously last season, but. This will not go down well. I'll leave the Arsenal brigade on Twitter to have a meltdown over it because they're not going to be pleased. He's 31. He's got, I think his contract runs out in the summer. Doug, is it? Jorginho. He's obviously going to be surplus requirements probably sooner rather than later. Yeah, Arsenal in a great position, obviously, to going for a potential league title. This is not a signing that would galvanize the fans. Put it that way.
Yeah, but I suppose again it would be probably for more squad depth as well. But I think we were obviously speaking before we were on air, and I think if you had been in for Caicedo maybe 2 to 3 weeks ago, then you probably would have probably had them done.
And that's the issue. Like me as an Arsenal fan, I'm thinking, I'm trying to put my head in the Arsenal board's hand. I think why have you waited till 48 hours before the window shuts to go for Moises Caicedo? It's not the fact that I don't want him. It's Arsenal leaving it very, very late. If he's a player that we was looking at, then obviously the bid should have come in the beginning of January or second week of January. So it kind of makes you think, where's the joined up thinking in terms of, going for this guy at the stage of the window that they have? I find it strange, to be honest, and quite baffling.
Yeah, I do as well. But Jorginho would be a very, very intriguing signing indeed. So here are some predictions. Chelsea 2, Fulham 0, says Reece Gaming Channel. Breaking news: Kilmarnock have just completed the loan signing of Luke Chambers on loan from Liverpool. Interesting. Now, I did not see that one coming. Chelsea 2, Fulham 1, says Shane O'Donnell. 2-1 Fulham, says Niall. Ooh, 2-1 Fulham. That's the first sort of Fulham away win we've had. Hello, John Hand as well. Watching the FA Cup draw. Yes, please do keep us updated.
Yeah,
I do appreciate it. Hey, John Hand, you must be buzzing Chelsea are getting Fernandes. Fully prepped for us to get no one else this window. We just signed a 16-year-old midfielder from Cardiff, but Dan Weghorst will be our only business. Hello, Connor. Hope you are good, my friend. Monachilly, yeah, absolutely. Luke Chambers, Connor. Good signing. He's a very, very good wee player, Luke Chambers. So I think you will look after him. You will look after him very, very well. Ooh, Connor's gone 3-1 to Fulham.
Ooh.
Wow. There is a lot of shock predictions in there. I thought there'd be maybe more draws and maybe Chelsea wins, but no, most people are going for a Fulham victory. Here we go. The next one, Everton against Arsenal. Now, Sean Dyche has been appointed the new Everton manager.
Yeah.
What do you make of it? And secondly, do you think he'll keep Everton up?
Oh, good question, Doug, man. That's the $1 million question. We played, Doug, we also played Everton last game of the season last season. I thought they was awful. They were very lucky that they had already stayed up at that point that we played them, because they were awful. And I thought they're going to struggle next season. It's actually been worse than what I thought it'd be for Everton. Because if they'd have stayed with Frank, they'd be playing championship football next season. There's still a possibility that might happen. But Sean Dyche had linked with a job before. I think the reason why Everton probably didn't go through him before is because, Doug, if you look at Everton's managerial history, like I almost feel like the reason why I didn't go for Dyche, and the most simplistic way I can put it is he wasn't really a glamorous name probably. And yes, he'd been in the Premier League, but I look at the managers they've had and I think, well, that's a Sean Dyche. And I think he was overlooked for that reason personally. But they're in the position that they're in now. I think it's probably a little bit unfair to call him a firefighter manager, but unfortunately, he's coming into a situation where there's very few players for me they've bought that have been success stories. Who would you say they've been a success story ever? And maybe Demarai Gray's done all right.
It will be maybe.
It won't be possibly, but a lot of them, some of their was it 6-7 managers now in 7 years? I think it is. Wow. But trust us to be playing them, Doug. Arsenal playing them when they've got the new manager, which is Sean Dyche. But having said that, I still think Arsenal sneak it. 2-1.
I mean, have you been surprised of like how good you guys have been this season?
God, Doug, how long have you got? Listen, you always have one fan in the fan base that is just overly positive, but even I didn't find any Arsenal fan that was thinking off the back of 2 8th league place finishes and their 5th place finish, missing out on Champions League, to go from that to this. It's incredible, to be honest, to turn around. No one saw this coming. Arsenal fans, I think, are in sort of almost autopilot, and that goes for the bigger YouTube channels and smaller channels like myself. As like, is this really, really happening? 5 points ahead, and I'm going to the big City game in 2 weeks' time, just over 2 weeks' time now. So I'll be there. So the atmosphere is going to be crazy. But no one saw this coming, Doug. It's a big, big shock. Best start to a season at halfway point ever for Arsenal. 50 points is nothing to be sniffed at. competing in the statement games and winning. 1-0 Chelsea away, Tottenham at their ground, which they ain't won for almost 10 years, beating United at home, beating Liverpool at home. These are massive steps for Arsenal because we weren't winning these games of football in the last 5 or 6 years. We weren't. We was getting slapped out of the game in the first 15, 20 minutes. So, yeah, Doug, in the short, it's been a massive surprise to see what I've seen this season.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Goodison Park hasn't been sort of the kindest of grounds. I mean, well, I suppose to say probably Merseyside hasn't sort of been the kindest of places for Arsenal to go. But you must be confident going into this game. Yes, I know Everton have got the new manager Bounce, but the way Arsenal are playing, yes, I know you're out of the FA Cup. But I suppose again, there's bigger fish to fry. There's definitely bigger fish to fry, for sure. How do you see this one going?
Well, it's you know what? Dyche's taken over today, hasn't he? So
he has,
he's not got long to work with the team, but I still think Arsenal sneak. It's tough. Like you mentioned, when our record ain't that fantastic. We went there last season and lost. I think 2-1. I think it's 2-1. The Demarai Gray last minute. We went 1-0 up in that game actually. I think it's Martin Odegaard, but not a ground I enjoy Arsenal going to, but I think we might just have enough. It's a different Arsenal side, so we can mix it physically. We can play attractive football. So I think we get the job 2-1 done. 2-1.
2-1 Arsenal. I think it'll be more comfortable than that. I'm going to go 3-1 Arsenal. Yeah, okay. I do. I'm going to go 3-1 Arsenal. I just think the defense of Everton is really poor. Oof. Really poor at this moment in time. And I just can't see it. I just cannot see the new manager Bounce. I mean, they'll probably get Anfield the next game week. We know how we're playing at the moment, but yeah, I just got a feeling Arsenal will be way too strong. Now the FA Cup draw is being announced, but I will go through a lot of comments because I'm just going to catch up with a few as well. We'll take care of him for you. Thank you, Connor. Definitely. Rods is in the building. Hello, guys. You'll never walk alone. Yes, hope you're good. Connor's gone 5-1 Arsenal. 5-1. Oh my goodness!
I'll take that. Yeah.
I bet you would. Everton 0, Arsenal 4, says Shane O'Donnell. I love Dyche, but Everton needs to go down and be humbled. Right. So it's Southampton against Luton / Grimsby. That is an interesting. I think that is a good one. Leicester versus Blackburn or Birmingham. Ooh, that would be quite good as well. Stoke against Brighton. Ooh. Typical. If we had beaten Brighton, we were away to Stoke. Again, that's not an easy place to go to. Wrexham against Wrexham or Sheffield United versus Spurs. Ooh. That will not be easy for Spurs.
No.
That will not be easy for Spurs. Fulham or Sunderland versus Leeds. I mean, they go to replay it. The Stadium of Light.
Yes.
Ooh, that is an interesting one. Bristol City against Manchester City.
Home tie. Good.
Man United versus Derby or West Ham. So Man United play the winners of tonight. Okay. And then Ipswich, Burnley versus Sheffield Wednesday or Fleetwood. Very, very interesting. Everton 0, Arsenal 3. Says Reese Gaming Channel. That is a draw. These ties will be played 27th of Feb and the 2nd of March. Thank you very much, Niall. Thank you for keeping us updated. Hello, Jordan Hyman. Hope you're good. And he's gone 2-0 to the Gunners. Yes, I think Arsenal will be doing. By the way, guys, I will actually be doing that game on Saturday. I am doing a live watch along of that game, Everton against Arsenal. It is the Saturday lunchtime kickoff. So it's on BT Sport. So I'm looking forward to doing that. One as well. Right, the next game, Midlands Derby, Aston Villa against Leicester City. Well, Aston Villa is a lot of joy when Unai Emery took over, and to be fair, Aston Villa are doing very, very well under Unai Emery. Leicester City, okay, they went through the FA Cup, but league-wise, they haven't been great. Albert, have they?
No, they weren't doing. They weren't doing too bad before the World Cup. Actually, I don't know what's happened since they came back, but Leicester's a really odd one. This this sort of side, man. I don't know if Rodgers has taken them as far as you can go, but then I think, well, who would they get in Leicester? But I actually think I'm actually quite confident of Villa getting the result. So I think Villa will win 2-0. Unai Emery, our old manager.
Yeah,
Villa's an odd one. Villa are a big club, man. But it's hard to know what direction they're really going in. But listen, give Unai Emery time, and he'll get them set up well, and hopefully they'll probably climb up the table a bit more, because I feel like a little bit of a sleeping big club,
sleeping giant.
Yeah, Villa.
Yeah,
it's a weird one. Got some good players there, Doug. To be fair, man. But I guess once this season sort of got out of the way for Villa, then I think Unai Emery can make his imprint properly in the summer.
Yeah, I think so. So you're going 2-0 to Villa.
Yes, 2-0.
2-0 Villa. I think Villa will win. I know Leicester have signed that new boy, is it Christensen, who played in the FA Cup at Walsall. But I don't see where the next league win's coming from for Leicester. And this is a nightmare run. I think they've got Spurs, I think they've got Manchester United, and I think they've got Manchester City in February.
Yeah. Hey.
So it is not a good run at all if you're a Leicester City supporter. Do you know what? I think this could be a nightmare of a trip for Leicester. I'm actually going to go. I'm going 3-1 Villa. I think Villa will absolutely play them off the park.
Yeah, I don't see that being close at all, actually.
No, I don't either. Hello, Nicola. Hope you're good. 2-1 Villa, says Connor. Hello, Nippon. Big up Douglas and Albert, he says. Shane O'Donnell's gone 2-0 to Aston Villa, same as Albert. Aston Villa 0, Leicester 1. The first Leicester win, I see. The game is at Villa Park, Nippon. The game is at Villa Park. Funnily enough, actually, the Leicester Villa game still needs to be rescheduled, I believe, at the King Power, because obviously that was one of the games that was off because of the that was one of the games that was off because of the Queen's death.
Yeah. We got Villa in a few weeks, actually. Again, a 12:30 kickoff.
Ooh,
at their ground, not Villa's ground.
Yeah, definitely. Even in True Red, FA Cup being done, I didn't see Liverpool. Wait, that's why. You're not in it either. Let me just say that. But big up, Luke. Hope you are well, my friend. Right, the next game. I mean, is this a home banker? I mean, anytime Brentford play these days, it usually is a bit of a home banker. But they are coming against the Southampton side, who, to be fair, are actually improving game upon game under Nathan Jones. A lot was said when Nathan Jones was appointed, Albert, saying sort of a lot of people were thinking Southampton are probably going to go down to the Championship with Nathan Jones with that kind of appointment. But actually, recently, they've actually shown that they can actually play against some very, very good teams, and they've got some good results as well.
Yeah, he's got a tough job, Nathan Jones. I think he's done well, sort of at I say lower leagues, but I think it's Championship. I think he went to Stoke, then he didn't do too well. But I think he left Luton to go Stoke and didn't do too well at Stoke. And I think he ended up back at Luton, and then he's obviously got the job at Southampton. I didn't see that one coming, man. I'll be honest, Doug. I didn't see that coming at all. When I knew the way things are going with Ralph Hasenhüttl, it's just a matter of time. I was even surprised he even came into this season as the manager, the way he's been talking.
I know.
Ralph Hasenhüttl was talking about retiring from football and all this stuff. But Nathan Jones has got a tough job, man. They could still turn around in their cup game, but I actually think Brentford will win, but I think it actually be quite tight. I've gone 1-0 Brentford because their home form is pretty good. I think they've only lost at home once, and that was tough. That's at Arsenal, actually. So they've got a good home record, Brentford. So, yeah, I'm going to go Brentford to sneak it 1-0.
1-0 Brentford. Yeah, Brentford have been very, very good this season. And Thomas Frank, again, he's getting loads of plaudits as Brentford manager. I got Southampton a goal because you can never tell with Southampton. I mean, because James Ward-Prowse does like a
Free
goal
kick, yeah.
now and then. I will give Southampton a goal, but I think Brentford will be
too strong.
I'm going to go 2-1 Brentford. I think they'll win, but I don't think it will be very, very. I don't think it will be a one-sided affair.
Yeah,
Let me just say that. Nippon says Aston Villa 3, Leicester City 2. So you see a bit of a goal fest there, Nippon. I like it. Connor said 2-2 as well. That'd be for Villa Leicester, and I guess. And Shane O'Donnell has gone 2-1 to the Bees, of course. Now, I've got to say this one for me. It's a South Coast derby. Let me just say that. Brighton against Bournemouth. Brighton, man, absolutely amazing. Yesterday against Liverpool. Very, very well-deserved winners. And that Mitoma is just something else.
Yeah. Seriously good player, man. It gets better every time I see him play. I see people talking about he probably end up at City already. I know, like the links, it's crazy, but not this January. But yeah, who knows? If he keeps on playing the way he's playing, he's been Brighton. Listen, to be fair, Doug, man, they've had to sell a lot of players in the last couple of years. Burns gone, Ben White's gone, Trossard's gone. Obviously, Mwepu had to retire because of the heart condition, which is sad for him. The Moises Caicedo deal there. The less said about that, the better. I'm drunk thinking about it. But to still play the football they're playing, they've been a good football. They've always been a good football inside anyway. But the problem is they couldn't put the ball back in the net. That was the issue. But I was very impressed yesterday. I've been very impressed with a lot of the games I've seen them play anyway. So I'm gonna go for 3-1, even though Gary Neville's done all right since he's been at Bournemouth. I think Brighton might have a bit too much, mate. 3-1.
3-1, yeah. Do you feel that we're sort of seeing the Bournemouth that I think many people probably expected to sort of... They've had that good sort of wee spell, but now they're in a bit of a slump, you'd have to say.
Yeah, with Bournemouth, I've not seen loads and loads of them this season, but I think the problem with a lot of the teams, more or less in the bottom sixes, who's going to score the goals for you? I mean, I think from Leicester to 14th to Southampton 20th, there's like a gap of 3 points. It's really tight, but
it's really tight.
I think you have to look at it and think who's going to score the goals to keep some of these teams up or to win football matches. But Bournemouth, I don't know. Have they got enough to turn it around? They was linked with a striker, but apparently that deal was off. Was it?
Yes. What's his name? Nicholas Jackson, I think.
Yeah. So I don't know what happened with that. That completely pulled the plug. But I think Brighton have too much, particularly being at the Amex as well.
Yeah, no, I've got to be honest. I think many people would probably be like thinking, let's get a couple of Brighton players in. Like, obviously, Mitoma is one of them. Solly March would be another one. Like, Brighton have been fabulous. Yeah. I think this is a home win. I think it'll be a long afternoon for Bournemouth. I'm going to go 3-0 Brighton. I think they will win very, very comfortably against Bournemouth. I like Bournemouth. I like Bournemouth as a club, and I've got a few friends who are Bournemouth supporters, and they're I think they're just pleased that they're in the top flight again.
Yeah.
So right, let's see some of your other predictions here, guys. Are you going for 2-2 for the Brentford game? Interesting. Brentford 2, Southampton 1. Southampton to score first. Ooh. I do like your predictions, Nippon, I must say. 3-1 Brighton, says Connor. Shane's gone 6-0 Brighton. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
That is bold. That is very, very bold. But the way Brighton are playing, I wouldn't be too surprised. And that's the thing as well, Albert. The one thing is that a lot of people, including myself, said Brighton don't score many goals under Graham Potter. Like, Graham Potter's sides were always told you don't score enough goals. Under De Zerbi, Brighton are scoring for fun.
Yeah, he's been excellent. So, Solly March has been the second coming, really. He's been at Brighton a long time, but under De Zerbi, he's been excellent. And the young boy they've brought into the side, is it Ferguson, is it?
Ferguson, yeah.
He's a big lad. He's only like, is he 18, 19? He's
Yeah.
young kid. Yeah, he looks massive. But they've got Colwell there at the back on loan from Chelsea.
Yeah.
But he's a big lad, Doug, man. I remember we played them in the Carabao Cup. God, he's a unit, man. That Louis Colwell was like, wow. Dunk's been solid. Dunk's been solid for a number of years. But I like Lewis Dunk. I think he's been excellent. I'm actually surprised he hasn't probably end up at a Chelsea were linked a few years ago, but they never went there.
Yeah.
When rumors or smudges about Arsenal fans are turning their nose up at that. But listen, sometimes that's the case for some football fans. But yeah, Brighton have been impressive, man. They still, you know what I mean? The Casado, what they got it for 4.5 million, and potentially for it's crazy. Good job, Tony Bloom, man. Seriously.
Oh, brilliant! Absolutely brilliant. He certainly knows what he's been doing. Ayari has been announced. I'm excited. I did see that. 3-0 Brighton, says Sebastian. Oh, Nip has gone for a 1-1 draw. Okay.
Bournemouth will take that now. Trust me.
No, they would definitely take that. Yeah. Brentford 3, Southampton 1, says Reese Gaming Channel. Brighter. Oh, here we go. Nippin's asked the question. Question for you both. Who are your 3 to face the drop? Ooh.
Doug, I'm looking at the table quickly now. Sorry, mate. I can't see Southampton staying up.
No, I can't either. They were one of my ones to go down, actually. I think Southampton, Bournemouth.
Yeah. Before the start of the season, I actually tipped Leeds as one of the bottom 3. But
Leeds.
I think because they just under Bielsa, they conceded way too many goals, even under Jesse Marsh, really, to be honest, as well. But I think they might just have enough. Everton, that literally is a flip of the coin. So I think Lopetegui going to Wolves, he'll keep them up. I think he'll definitely keep them up after that now. But I think it's a toss-up, mate. Like we said to you before, there's only 3 points separating 14th to 20th.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, it is very, very difficult. Nippon, I would probably ask that question back probably in April. And then I'd probably have a better idea as well. Reese Gaming Channel's gone 1-0 to Brighton. Hello, Alan. Hope you're good, my friend. Thank you for tuning in. Hi, Jordan. Hi, Nippon Sports TV. Right, the next game is at Old Trafford. It is Manchester United against Crystal Palace. I mean, you were at Arsenal, Manchester United. They have improved a lot, Man United, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. I think. Listen, Ten Hag's a good manager, man. Like, if whether you followed Eredivisie or you didn't, good manager. And I think even some Arsenal fans, obviously they're happy they got Arteta. But if Ten Hag would have been available at the time, the Arsenal fans, I don't think many Arsenal fans would have turned it down. He had a big job at Man United, man. Man United is a huge, huge football club, but they were heading in a direction where, they just were not competitive and they're too easy to play against. But he's going to need the time of his contract that he's Ten Hag, because there's still work to do. He's got them playing really, really well. They were a good run of form. I think it's like, was about 10 wins in 11, I think it is in all comps. Rashford is on it's a completely different player to 12, 18 months ago. End products as well as just having the trickery and the pace. He's been very ruthless in his decision making in terms of players. Definitely defensively, absolutely.
Definitely,
big shake up. Dallow's come back in. Obviously injured at the moment. Shaw's been moved to left centre back. Maguire doesn't get in the team. So he's made a lot. He's put his imprint there. To be fair, and they're looking a lot better than what I saw last season and recent years. So. Palace got some good players there, Doug, man. They have got some good players. I think again their problem even with they've had a couple of signings in recent years, is just putting the ball in the back of the net. Obviously, Wilf is still dangerous as usual. Edward started off well, but sort of in and out of the team. I'm surprised they haven't gone back in for Conor Gallagher, but listen, that's probably another subject. But I think Palace a bit of a. Even they haven't really signed anyone, Doug. I think they've bought some. I think they might have bought someone in today. I have to double check that. People in the chat drop that in, but I still think United have too much for him, mate. What did I go? I went 2-1 United.
2-1 United.
Yeah.
Is Christian Eriksen a blow for United?
Ooh. Yeah, I saw the tackle, man. Not good.
Yeah, Andy Carroll of all people as well. I mean, it wasn't surprising that he got sent off the other night. I've got to be honest.
Yeah, Eriksen. I don't know if they said they given an update of how serious it is, but he's a very, very integral player. And I said this when we played them. Yes, they talk about Rashford. They'll talk about Fernandes.
Yeah.
They'll talk about certain other players in the United team that are doing well. I mean, Casemiro is just he's a class football anyway, Doug. Listen, before he comes to the Premier League, but obviously people see him week in, week out now. He's exceptional. Casemiro, wow. But yeah, I just think I can't see Palace going there and winning. I can't.
No, I yeah, I think if this is maybe 2-3 years ago, I'd probably say Palace might get something, but Palace are not in the greatest of form at the moment. But they always make it tricky when they go to Old Trafford, but United are just something else at the moment.
Good form. They're in good form.
Yeah, I'll go. Well, I get Palace a goal because United are conceding that. No matter, I know that they're getting all these 10 wins in a row and all this, but they do seem to concede a lot. Recently,
that's why I've gone 2-1. Yeah.
This might actually sound a wee bit of a surprise, but I think this could be a goal fest. Do you know that?
You reckon?
I think this could be a goal fest. I'm going 3-2 Manchester United.
Oh wow!
I think just because Zaha is playing, Edward will be playing as well. They've got Michael Olise, who doesn't celebrate goals, which is
that free kick was amazing. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. And then he didn't celebrate, which is quite strange. It has to be said. Yeah, I think that might be a bit of a surprise as well. But I'm going 3-2 United. I just think it will be an interesting game. Let me just say that. Lil VV, hello. Hope you are good. Thank you for tuning in to the show. United 0, Palace 0. Ooh, 0-0. That would be interesting. 2-0 United, says Connor. 3-0 Manchester United. United 3-1, unfortunately, says Alan. 2-0 United. What's good, John? Hello, Anthony. Hope you're good, mate. Hope the Gunners, he says. Man United 2, Crystal Palace 0. Indian Scouser, Narit, hello, mate. Hope you're good. 4-0 Manchester United. Wow. Anthony has gone for a 1-1 draw.
You know what? That's not a. It's a Doug. I was thinking about the game. I thought, you know what? United are on form, but if they're slightly off it, Palace have got their players to give them some serious problems. So if you end up a draw, I wouldn't be surprised. But I do think United will sneak it 2-1.
Yeah, I think so. Oh Christ! The next game. I don't even want to speak about my club at the moment. Wolves against Liverpool. Yes, the meeting of Wolves against Liverpool ×2 at Molineux again.
Go on, mate.
We both have sort of Wolves to sort of stay up this season. Like I think, look, Bruno Lage was good at Wolves, but unfortunately, just didn't happen for him this season.
Yeah,
Lopetegui's come in. I mean, they had about 3 bites of the cherry before they got Lopetegui. Like I remember there was a lot of people saying that basically they've approached Lopetegui to take over. No, he's turned them down. They've approached Lopetegui again. He's turned them down. Basically, they were going to basically get a restraining order against him very, very soon. But you have to say he has made Wolves a lot tougher to beat now.
Yeah, he had to because their goal difference is awful. I think it's like -18. Which is not great. They haven't won too many games. Again, they're another team that was similar to Brighton. They play some really good football, but they don't score a lot of goals. They didn't concede a lot of goals, but they don't score many either. So there's a wretched run of form. But this is an interesting game actually. Obviously Liverpool at the moment, it's not clicking. I'm sure you know for a number of reasons that you probably might come up with, but I've actually gone for this one as a draw. Actually, a score draw. Gone for 1-1.
1-1.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised. Would not be surprised if that finishes in a draw at all. Yeah, but I mean, how long have I got to? I mean, I did a lot of speaking last night on the match reaction. I do not know what has happened this season. I really do not.
And the thing with Liverpool, it seems to be it's not one particular area of the pitch either.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, Fabinho yesterday, how that was not a red card, I'll never know.
I couldn't believe it.
That wasn't a red card, I'll never know. I actually think Robertson was a bit fortunate to stay on the pitch as well. I mean, do I see us getting anyone in tomorrow in the deadline day tomorrow? No.
I think he said. Yeah, I think he said Klopp. He said, "It's not. No one's coming in.
No one's coming in." We're just so bad at the moment. Like I mean, our next 3 games are Wolves, Everton, and Newcastle. Now, I mean, Wolves away is always a tricky game to go to in any case. Everton, we know what Sean Dyche is like with his teams as well, and he does like to rile up a lot of opposition managers. And then Newcastle away, I'm just looking at that Newcastle away game, and I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, they're playing well.
The way that they're playing right now, I don't feel confident going into any game recently. I really, really don't. But we do have a good record against Wolves. We have a very good record against Wolves when it comes to the league. I mean, you've got 1-1. I mean, I was very, very tempted to go 1-1, but do I back the boys?
It's a hard one, mate.
Or do I think Wolves get something? Do you know what? I'm going to go for the same scoreline that we won in the FA Cup. I'm going to go 1-0 Liverpool, but I can tell you now that is not a confident prediction. It is probably more one of optimism, if I'm being honest. But Wolves don't score enough goals. That's the thing. That's the thing as well, that Wolves don't score enough goals. So
no, they don't.
That's where I'm sort of getting my my prediction on that one. But we shall see. Let's see what some of you are saying for this one. 2-0 Wolves says, Connor. 2-0 Wolves, Sebastian.
Oh, wow.
Wolves 0 Liverpool 1 will be a hard game to watch. Certainly will be. It certainly will be. Anthony's gone 1-0 Liverpool. Reese Gaming Channel's gone 1-0 Liverpool. Rennie's gone 1-0 Wolves. Shane O'Donnell's gone 2-1 to Liverpool. Wolves 2, Liverpool 1. They should have had 3 red cards. If we had got 3 red cards yesterday, Nick, I would not have complained once. Would not have complained. Kanate on McAllister. I think that you can argue that could be red because he is last man. Robertson, I think, was very, very fortunate. His challenge on McAllister again. McAllister had a rough time of it yesterday.
Yeah. Good player, man. Good player.
Oh, brilliant! Absolutely brilliant. I must have took the day off. to be honest, when you have David Coote in charge of that game, then I'm a bit worried. I must admit. Rennie's going Leicester City against Aston Villa 3-0 Teti hat-trick. Wow, that is very, very interesting. Arsenal 3, Everton 0. Mr. Prediction. No probs, Anthony. No problem at all. Speaking of Newcastle, that is where the next game is. Newcastle United against West Ham United. This is a 5:30 game. Newcastle surprised you this season?
Yeah, they have. I mean, I know people talk about the money thing, right, and having a bottomless pit, but still, they have been smart with some of their buyers, Doug. I mean, Callum Wilson was already there. Dan Burn wasn't an unknown secret. Trippier's already played in the Premier League before. Fabian Schär's been there for quite a while. Sven Botman was identified a good signing. Bruno Gomes obviously good signing last season. So, I mean, obviously, if you think about the Isaac signing, they're throwing the kitchen sink of that one. But some of the guys were already established in the Premier League. So, and you've obviously brought in Eddie Howe as well. It's a different Newcastle side than what I remember under the likes of Pardew, Bruce. They used to ship a lot of goals, Newcastle. I think people need to understand. For example, when we played them at the Emirates, I was at that game, we drew 0-0, and I think people were under the impression that Newcastle were going to come there and open up and play. They weren't going to do that at the Emirates. They're not stupid.
No,
and they kept it tight, and he's got them fitness-wise. I think John's mentioned this. Good old John Sinclair, our mate, that he's got them a lot fitter, and you can see it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, they're different proposition. Newcastle, like, look at the clean sheets, Doug. It's incredible this season. They conceded 11 Premier League goals this season.
Yep.
So yeah, they've done better than what I thought they would do, if I'm honest. And they're only going to get better, mate. Like, going into, I don't think they'll probably do any business tomorrow unless Eddie Howe, unless we did something that we don't know. But yeah, I've been very impressed with them, man. I'm very, very impressed. And I'll tell you what, if Eddie Howe, if he gets them into top 4 and wins them a trophy, Doug, the guy deserves a statue.
Yeah.
And that's no exaggeration. I'm not even a Newcastle United fan. So yeah, that'd be a remarkable turnaround if that happens. They get through to the final and probably play United, whatever. But yeah, very impressive of mate, to be fair. For West Ham, I didn't see this coming this season with them. No, I'm very surprised what I've seen. Because again, you go for their team: Ben Rama, Fornells, Rice, Soucek. I don't know what's happened. They struggled to score goals. Obviously, again, another issue for West Ham. I think Antonio shot his bolt, probably just talking about him leaving. But yeah, it's West Ham. Yeah, I this is one of the easiest fixtures I actually thought about, and it came to me straight away. I said Newcastle 3-0.
3-0 Newcastle.
Yep. I can't see West Ham. I can't even see West Ham scoring.
How long do you think Moyes has got?
I tell you what, if they'd lost that game against Everton a few weeks ago, I don't see how he could have stayed on.
Yeah.
Yeah, the West Ham fans, yeah, they're not happy, man. And I get it. I don't know what their run of games are, Doug, but they need to turn it around fast.
Massively.
They're in a relegation battle. They are. You can dress it up as much as you want. They are. So I don't think he's got long, mate, to be honest. I think he's on borrowed time.
Yeah, I think so as well. I mean, you're going 3-0. I'll stay respectful. I'll go 2-0 Newcastle, but yeah, like you, I can't see West Ham getting anything from that game. If I'm being honest. Right, let's see what your predictions for this one. 2-0 Newcastle, says Rennie. 2-0 Newcastle, says Lil VV. 2-0 Newcastle, says Shane O'Donnell. 3-1 Newcastle, says Sebastian. Newcastle 5, managerless West Ham after losing to Derby in the Cup 0.
You know what, Doug? They've got, I think, West Ham after Newcastle. They got Chelsea at home the following week.
Oh,
yeah, the 12:30 kickoff. Yeah, so that's going to be wow. Yeah, we'll see how they get on that one.
That is not easy at all. James Madison isn't for sale. Good luck, Newcastle fans. Reece Gaming Champs going 4-0 Newcastle. 4-0. Yeah, could be a long evening for West Ham, and I think they have just kicked off in the FA Cup as well. They're playing Derby at I don't know if it's called Pride Park. Is it called Pride Park? I don't know if it's called Pride Park.
Unless they change the name again, I don't know. But I thought it was.
That is very, very true. Sportcat 1, hello, mate. Hope you're good. Sorry you're late. No problem. Don't worry about it. Newcastle 4, West Ham 1. What was your prediction for the Chelsea game? Albert went 2-1 Chelsea. I've gone for a 1-1 draw against Fulham. I just have a feeling that that's a tricky game to predict, that one. So yeah, I've gone for a 1-1 draw in that one. Now, this is a game of two teams who can't defend to save themselves. So it could be a bit of a fun watch on Super Sunday. or it could be a 0-0 draw.
Yeah.
I've just begged that up very, very badly. Nottingham Forest against Leeds United. Leeds United, Albert, Weston McKennie on a loan deal from Juventus. That is a very impressive signing.
The American connection. So you've got obviously Jesse Marsh is there, and Aronson and Tyler Adams are there, aren't they? So
yeah,
Leeds is. I don't know.
They're a funny one, aren't they?
Yeah, Jesse Marsh. People think he's a bit of a passion merchant, personally, but this game was really kind of. I don't think it'd be 0-0. I mean, no. I knew Forest would struggle. They've come up and said, you know what, we're going to throw the kitchen sink at it. I'm not even sure if they're even done in the transfer window yet, which is remarkable considering they bought over 22 players. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, they're about to get Lord Voldemort from Newcastle.
Oh my god! Yeah. Oh yeah. Shelby's going there, isn't he? God, got Chris Woods.
Shelby's going. Yeah, and also, I don't know if they'll get this through the door by the deadline, but apparently, what I've heard is that Keylor Navas could potentially be coming to Nottingham Forest as well.
I heard that. I'm like, what? And I think they've got Danilo they bought recently as well. So, listen, they can't say they haven't given themselves a chance to stay up. Morgan Gibbs-White's done well, and Brennan Johnson, he's got a bit of something about him. So, they might have a chance. But, yeah, this one's tough. I've actually gone for Leeds to sneak it 2-1.
Yeah, it's one of those games where I'm like, well, Forest are not playing well, Leeds are not playing well. I mean, it could finish 0-0.
Yeah,
it could finish in a draw. But just something in the back of my mind is saying there could be goals in this game. I thought there might be goals between Leeds and Brentford, and that finished 0-0. But Gnonto, Somerville, they've got Weston McKennie now, Tyler Adams.
Yeah, Doug, I was just checking. I think they're 13th in the table. Forest, as long as they don't lose, that will negate Leeds catching them up. Because I think they've got 4 point. Is it 4 point buffer? I think it is. 3 or 4 point buffer. So as long as they don't lose, but I think Leeds might actually sneak it. I think they will.
Yeah. I certainly do. This is a really hard game to predict.
It's hard to call.
If Cooper very, very difficult.
Cooper keeps them up. Wow, great.
I know.
Job. Yeah. It's a tough one to call.
It's a tough one.
I think it's got draw written all over it, but I just think Leeds might nick it.
I'm going to go 2-1 Forest.
Oh, okay. It's gone the opposite way.
I'm going to go 2-1 Forest. Yeah, I think Leeds are in trouble. I really do. I think they could be in trouble. I mean, you said at the start of the season that they could be one of those ones to potentially go down.
Still not too late for them. Yeah. So it's a tough one to call. It'd be interesting to see how it goes. I might have to stick a tenner on and put a draw on.
Anthony's going Newcastle 4, West Ham 1. Mudryk is going to destroy everyone. Mudryk played well against Liverpool when he came on.
Cameo. He did have a good little cameo.
Good wee player there. Evening, Hannah. Hope you're good. 1-0 West Ham.
Ooh.
Is that in the FA Cup, Shane? I take it West Ham have just scored against Derby, have they? Thank you for that. Imagine when we get Enzo Fernandez.
Probably.
Yeah, I know. Leeds 2, Forest 2, says Anthony. 2-1 Leeds United. 2-2 Forest Leeds. 1-1 Forest Leeds. Bowen for West Ham. So obviously West Ham have scored against Derby. There we go. Jared Bowen. 3 goals in 2 games he has.
Yeah.
Slow VV. I did say it. Forest are looking to sign John Shelby on a 2-year deal, believe it or not. Yeah, I know. What we're doing is we're doing all our business now and we're building for the future. So it's very unlikely we'll have a transfer window like this again.
They won't.
Interesting. 1-1 draw, says Spurcat. I hate Forest so much. Please lose this match. Newcastle looking at Norwegian 25-year-old Sander Berge from Sheffield United.
Yeah, did hear that. Interesting.
That would be a good move. That would be a very, very good move. So, we have one game more to talk about, and it is probably, well, Spurs against Manchester City. Oh dear, Spurs fans are going absolutely mental on social media. It looks like Pedro Porro is not going to Tottenham. But Man City, Cancelo.
Yeah,
What do you make of that?
No one saw that coming. I don't know what something's obviously clearly happened there because he's loan move to Bayern Munich and they're talking about he can buy him for like 61 million. I'm like, wow, 28. What City's player of the season last season, team of the year last season, good season last season. I don't know what's happened since he's come back from the World Cup, to be honest. It's not really featured that many times. So that's a strange one. I mean, I can only assume, as I mentioned before, they might be falling out, or he sees Rico Lewis as the future there, and Kyle Walker's still there and dependable. So I assume that's what it is. But yeah, that was a surprise. That came out of nowhere. As for the Tottenham thing, I mean, I've got my YouTube Tottenham wife, Holly Agapart. Tottenham fans are very, very unhappy. And to be honest, I mean, I watched the transfer show last week, and I'm an Arsenal fan, but I'm thinking that deal's taking way too long to bring him in.
Yeah.
And apparently, I think it's more sport. Is it Sporting Lisbon are just taking just moving the goalposts? They're talking a deal could still be done, but the rate it's going. I mean, the guy wants to come to Tottenham. And Tottenham have just been mucked around, and they're not happy. They're really not happy.
No, they're not. They certainly are not. But Tottenham have Manchester City's number when it comes to this game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
I again with some games, the scoreline just came to me instantly: 2-2.
2-2.
I think it'd be a score draw. Yeah, 100%.
Score draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they went 2-0 up against Man City the last time was quite interesting, to say the very, very least. But you'd expect a bit of a response from Tottenham. And 3-0 against Preston, that was a good result. I mean, Dan Juma is a good signing as well, so he'll play as well. I'm going to go for the exact same scoreline that happened a couple of weeks ago.
4-2.
4-2. Yeah,
wow.
4-2. 4-2 City. I think City will just be. I think they'll be angry. I think they'll be a little bit angry with what happened, and I don't think they're going to let Spurs off the hook again. I don't think they'll let Spurs off the hook again. So let's see what some of you are saying for this one. 5-0 City. 7-1 Man City. Wow, 7-1, Sebastian. That would just be incredible. Man City 2, Tottenham 0. A bit more conservative, Anthony. 6-2 City. Rennie, make your mind up. 6-2 City or 5-0 City. Interesting. Yeah. Spurs 1 City 3. Kane goal, Holland brace, and Mahrez. Yes.
Yeah, Mahrez is on fire, man.
He is. Big mistake letting João Cancelo go out on loan, in my opinion, says Shane. I think it could be a decision that could come back to bite them on the backside. I really, really do. Shane's gone 2-2 as well. City have never scored at the new White Hart Lane. No, they have not. That is a very good stat, Shane. But Holland, Grealish, Mahrez, Alvarez, they're bound to score.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if they don't. I could see both teams scoring, definitely.
Yeah, Spurs 3-2 says Reese Gaming Channel. Well, that would make Albert very, very happy if that happened.
A draw would be more.
Yes, of course. Obviously, would have been Spurs, of course.
Of course.
Nathan Ake seems to be playing left back now. Rennie, is the Porro deal on? It's still on at the moment, but they're ever so changing sort of rumours between sort of Ornstein, Fabrizio Romano. I don't know what to believe, to be honest, but for me, I don't know if it's on. I do not know if they can get a deal done.
I think they said the problem is the they're messing around in terms of the release clause. I don't know what the exact details of it were, but I did hear that. But yeah, Lisbon are just changing the goalpost consistently.
Yeah. It could be an interesting couple of hours. Let's just say that it could be a very, very interesting couple of hours. But that is that for Match Week 22. Thank you first of all for Albert for coming on. I really do appreciate it, and we should do this more in the future as well.
Yeah, enjoyed it, man. No, I appreciate the invite, man. It's good, man. To prediction wise, not done a show like this. I don't think I've ever done a show like this on YouTube. So, Doug, it's been a pleasure, man.
Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure as well. Lil Vivi, the FA Cup draw has actually happened. It happened about 7:25. Crikey. Let me think if I remember these. Man United got the winners of Derby or West Ham. Yeah. Bristol City, Man City. Stoke, Brighton. Southampton versus Luton or Grimsby.
Yeah.
I
think you've done well.
Leicester against Blackburn or Birmingham.
Yeah.
Done
well.
Fulham or Sunderland against Leeds.
I think that's about it, isn't it?
I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Okay. Yeah.
Crikey. So yeah, there you go. If I have missed any teams, then obviously apologies. And yeah, big up Albert, says Anthony. And Rennie says bye as well. I did not mean to do that. So yes, guys, if you have obviously missed the show, do check it out, and also leave your predictions in the comment section down below. Thank you very much to Albert. Please go and check out Albert GTV, of course. Big Arsenal fan and an absolute gentleman as well. Anthony's saying Bristol City, Man City, I'll be watching. I bet you will. I bet you will be as well. And Reese Gaming Channel says great stream as well. Yes, now coming up on the channel, there will be a Wolves Liverpool preview, but will not be live. It will be pre-recorded. I am in the process of trying to arrange that. Then on Saturday, there will be a live watch along of Everton against Arsenal, so please do tune in for that one. I do like doing the Saturday lunchtimes. I do really enjoy it. And yeah, we'll see what happens, and obviously we'll let you guys know how well people do, how well me and Albert do as well. But it's a big games. West London derby between Chelsea and Fulham, Spurs, Man City. And Dyche's debut against the Arsenal. We shall see what happens. But anyway, from the both of us, it is good night, and we'll see you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye for now.